everybody, and welcome back to my podcast, Esme's Country Life. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about a media day in a palace and also getting judged for what I like to watch on Reels. Also, I'm going to be talking about a Woodland fete that I've been to, and also my photo shoot with Country Life magazine. But before we begin, I just want to say a huge thank you to the sponsor of the podcast, Red Post. Red Post is an equestrian and country store based in the UK, but they also ship all over the world. And also, something that you might not know is that if you go and follow Red Post on Instagram, they actually do something called Win It Wednesdays. So they do lots of giveaways over there. So go and check them out. Also, if you follow them on Instagram, you can find out when they have sales, also cool deals, that kind of thing. So yeah, go and check out Red Post at redpostequestrian.co.uk. Anyway, let's get into today's episode. So let's start off with the media day at Blenheim Palace. So this was for the Blenheim Palace International Horse Trials. So it was a day where all of the press and all of the sponsors and that kind of thing, they all come together. So yeah, we started off, we actually got there very early. And as you guys know, normally when we go somewhere, it's a 5 a.m, 4 a.m. kind of start. I go into the car, fall asleep, wake up, very glamorously get changed in the back of the car at a service station, have a service station breakfast, do my makeup in the car, and then so I hadn't really actually been out of the car until we arrived at Blenheim, and I got out and I was like, oh my goodness, it is freezing, autumn is here, where has summer gone? I don't know if I have a warm enough outfit. Anyway, the outfit was cute. I had like some boots and like a nice little jacket, that kind of thing. So as we got there early, we thought, how about we do like a little bit of a mini kind of photo shoot? So we did lots of filming to kind of promote the event. Actually, when this podcast goes out, I've actually on this particular day, I've recorded 2 podcasts, so I would have been to Blenheim, that kind of thing. So I have to tell you all about the actual show in a late episode. But anyway, when we arrived, we were taking all these videos and photos, and obviously we're there filming with professional cameras, gimbals, that kind of thing, getting all the angles. And then this lady came up to us and she was like, "Excuse me, who are you? What are you doing? Are you allowed to be here?" And we were like, we're here for the horse show. We're here for you guys to, promote your event that you're doing. And they were like, oh, okay then. She was a bit like, oh, okay. So anyway, we went into the palace, and in one of the rooms, which actually, any of you guys are Bridgerton Queen Charlotte fans, in the room there was actually the room where they had the dining room scene in Queen Charlotte. So that was very cool. So we were in there having our tea and coffee in the morning before the media day kind of started. So that was very weird, very surreal, very cool. So we're in there, and then it was also really nice to chat to everyone. So obviously, like, I have a lot of friends in that kind of world, so had a catch up with people, and then the media day started, where they kind of thanked all the sponsors and the media for being there, and we actually had another little tractor trailer ride, which was good fun. So we were in this kind of like glamorous palace, and then walked out, and then we got into the back of this like kind of, I don't even know how to describe the trailer, because it looked like somebody had got old like bus seats and just stuck them on this trailer and then put kind of like a plastic sheet over the top of us. So it was good fun. So we were like kind of bumping away, and then we would get out at different jumps or fences. And then the course designer, David Evans, he was there talking about the course and all the different fences, which is really fascinating. And then we also obviously got my job was to get lots of content, but also chatting to people. And then while we were on this kind of tractor trailer ride bobbing along, you know how, you just go on your phone. I was like, oh, put some posts up, that kind of thing. And Instagram is Instagram, and as you kind of, you do your work, and then you'll get onto something, and then you'll end up scrolling on Reels. Anyway, I ended up talking to this lovely lady called Tony, whose daughter also watches my video, so I don't know if she listens to the podcast, but if you are, hi Tony, this is probably very weird that I'm saying your name. Anyway, so she caught me, because I've been chatting to her for quite a lot of the day, and this was at the end of the day on our way back to the palace, I think. And, sometimes I just like my little decompress time. I like to just go on my phone, scroll away, just have a chill time after talking to lots of people. And anyway, she was sitting next to me on the tractor, and she looked over my shoulder and must have seen what I was watching, because I was watching a reel all about ducks. There were like baby ducks, there were ducks doing different cute things, and she said to me, oh my goodness, that is the most adorable thing ever. She was like, she was really lovely. We actually had a really big chat, and she was like, it's so lovely to see that my daughter's idol is actually a really lovely person, and she's there watching reels of baby animals. And then we had a good old chat about baby animal reels and TikToks and things that we like watching. And there we go. It was a very wholesome moment. So I got exposed for what I like to watch on Instagram Reels. So there we go. We also had a nice little lunch afterwards in this room, and honestly it felt like a wedding, the kind of like seating arrangement that we were there. We got like a little goodie bag as well, very fancy schmancy. So yeah, it was a very lovely time. And anyway, after that we had to quickly scoot off before the M25 closed, because motorways in the UK are not the best thing at times. So there we go. Anyway, got back home. Anyway, that was my day at the Blenheim Palace Media Day. It was very lovely, very nice. It's not every day that you get to work at a palace, so yeah, it was awesome. Next, I need to tell you about my photo shoot with Country Life magazine, because it started off, we thought, we'll go to this really nice kind of gardens near where we are. Checked the weather. It was raining cats and dogs, of course, on the day of a photo shoot. The weather has got to be awful. So I was like, don't worry, guys, we can do it at my house. Which, if you don't know, Country Life magazine is very fancy magazine. And normally they have like a girl in it each kind of issue. And normally it's somebody who is either, like a lady or I was going to say a lord, that's a man, but like a lady or that kind of thing, or a dame, or like someone who is kind of very high up in the world, or someone in business in the kind of country world. So I felt very, very honoured that, I was chosen for this. I was like, that's very cool. But normally they say, this is daughter of, some fancy person. So my dad was like, don't include me. I'm a nobody, like that kind of thing. So that's quite funny. But yeah, so normally they're used to going to big old country estates and that kind of thing for photo shoots. That's why I thought, we'll go to this nice gardens not too far away from me. Obviously that got rained off. So I thought, they can come to my house. And then after I said this, I was like, wait a minute, they're probably used to go to this like massive country estate with all this land and that kind of thing, and I've got my little end of terrace cottage. So anyway, so we had it there, and to be fair, a lot of the photos that they were taking, they weren't like super far off shots. They kind of wanted it to be more of like a shot of me, of kind of head and shoulders, that kind of thing. So I don't even know what photo that they're choosing yet for it, but the photographer seemed very happy with the photos that we took. And also the other thing, like, I've just felt like this poor photo shoot, so many things just ended up going wrong. So there was a makeup artist and hair artist that they organised, and they found out that they had a family member, or that I think it was her daughter, had COVID. So obviously they couldn't come along because we didn't want to get COVID or get ill, and obviously she needed to look after her daughter, which is like fair enough. So anyway, luckily I am one of those sort of people where I'm like, that's fine, I'll do my own makeup. Like, I do my own makeup like almost all the time, so I was like, that's fine. The photographer was saying, there would be some people that if they found out that they didn't have a makeup artist, they would have rescheduled or cancelled because they wouldn't do a photo shoot without one. And I was like, oh my goodness, like, this is just what I look like all the time, like, might as well. Anyway, so it actually worked out really well being at the cottage, because it meant that I had all my hair tools, all my makeup brushes and makeup and that kind of thing. I had it all there, and I had all my outfits there as well. So with the photographer, I could be like, what are we thinking? We're thinking this, maybe I should pair it with these boots instead, or this top instead. So it was great. I had my whole wardrobe there, had my whole makeup there, and then it was also such a dark day as well. Like, it felt so autumnal, especially with all the rain and things. This was also when we kind of had like a little bit of a thunderstorm too. But anyway, so she got out all of these fancy lights and all this cool stuff. And she even, to warm it up, she had this special orange paper that she put on some of the lights as well to warm it up a little bit. But no, it was very good fun. Did the photo shoot, got the photos, really looking forward to seeing what they look like. I'm like, it went really, really well. I haven't even seen the photos yet, but I've looked at the photographer's like portfolio, and she takes some incredible photos, so it should be good. So that is very exciting. I'll keep you updated on when that issue will be out, but I'm thinking sometime in October, they said, so I'll keep you updated. But yeah, thank you very much to Country Life magazine for very kindly having you as one of their main people in the magazine. That was very much like a pinch me moment. So that was very, very cool. And then what else have I been up to lately? Oh, tell you what is my new favourite thing at the moment. Like every now and again, like I just kind of become like a little bit obsessed with something. But I have recently, I feel like some people are going to love me for this, some people are going to hate me for this, but I have recently become a Kindle girly. Like I never thought I would be that person, because I do love holding like a physical book. I love my little bookshelf that I have with all of my books on. But with my job, I do a lot of travel. I do a lot of going here, there and everywhere, and I thought there have been so many times where this has been my like bad habit recently, where I'll go away for something and I'll be halfway through reading a book and I won't take that book with me, because I'm like, if I'm going away for like a weekend working, what if I finish that book and then I don't have a book to read? So I'll just start a new book. So I had all of these books that were like half read, because I would take a new book with me somewhere. Don't worry, all of my half read books I have now finished reading, so that is all good. But I thought, with a Kindle, I can take all of my books with me. Also, this is not an ad or anything. There are other e-readers available, but I decided to get one because my family have a Amazon Prime subscription, so I can get loads of free books on it with that. So thank you, Mum and Dad, for letting me steal your Amazon subscription anyway. So there we go. But I thought I would get one. And when I tell you, so as you guys know, I am dyslexic. Sometimes, reading is not the easiest thing for me, but I do really enjoy it. And I do like having time off a screen, especially as a lot of my job, I'm on a screen, if that's my phone or my iPad or my computer, if I'm doing editing, emails, admin, that kind of thing. So I quite like to have time off a screen for when I'm in my chill down, going to bed, relaxing time, introvert time, which does sound a little bit contradictory now I've got a Kindle, because technically that is a screen, but it doesn't feel like a screen because it looks like paper. But anyway, so one thing that I have found out, because you can change the font on it and you can make the font bigger, and as someone who is dyslexic, oh my goodness, I feel like I am a speed reader now. Like at school I had to have extra time because I was so slow at reading, but now I feel like I can zip through a book. Also, maybe it's just the font, but maybe it's something different. Like I also didn't realise how distracting it was when you're reading a book, like having to turn the page. And I don't know if that's like a dyslexic thing, but I'd find it would really stop my flow when it came to reading. And it also means that I can lie down in like a really comfortable position when I'm reading, which was a real sales point for me when thinking about getting one. But yeah, it means that if I finish my book, I can just move on to the next one. So I can download them all there. Also the charge, sorry, this is really sounding like an ad. I promise it's not. I'm just so excited about it. But I've only charged it once and it's still going. I mean, I've only had it for a week. But yeah, I'm zipping through books super quickly. But yes, so there we go. I am now a Kindle girly. I thought I would just update you all on that for any of my reading people. But also there's the thing that I think it's like a race for me, because in the bottom left hand corner you can have it so it says how many minutes it does. It's quite clever. It does it on, like, you obviously have to start reading the book a little bit, and then it kind of figures out what your reading speed is, and then it'll say in the bottom hand corner, like, you have 5 minutes left of this chapter. So it's really addictive, because I'll read a chapter and then the new chapter starts and it's like, oh, there's only like 5 minutes of this chapter, I'll just read another chapter. There's only 2 minutes of this chapter, this is a quick one, like, and then an hour's gone by and I'm like, oh my gosh, I really should have like started making my dinner now or something like that. So there we go. But that is my new thing. So all of my long car journeys where I'm not asleep, been reading my Kindle. So my poor dad's has been like, I've not been a very good passenger. I've been very boring. So there we go. So if you have any book recommendations, send them my way, because I'm speeding through the books at the moment. Anyway, what else have I been up to? It was my mum's birthday the other weekend, actually, so that was really lovely. We went to, it always ends up being on when this like kind of like local little Woodland kind of fete fair, whatever you want to call it, is on. So we went to that again. We went last year and we had so much fun. There's like a nice little woodland walk that you can do, and there's little stalls. There's a lot of men with beards whittling away at different things, making like wooden spoons or rakes or that kind of thing. And there was this one guy, and we were really thrown off because he had like the full-on outfit. He had like the little neckerchief, the little waistcoat, he was dressed up kind of like medieval almost. And then what did he have on his feet? He had Crocs. We were like, what? I mean, I am not to judge. I do love it. I do love a pair of Crocs every now and again. Actually, do I own a pair of Crocs? Actually, the only pair of Crocs that I own at the moment, I wore a lot of Crocs when I was younger. Like these, as I said before, about weevilfish or weaverfish. Weaverfish is not weevilfish. That's something else. A weevil. Anyway, weaverfish in the UK, they're like little fish that can spike you when you go to the beach. Like I always like to wear some sea shoes, which I feel like is not very cool. But I do have a pair of Croc trainers, so they look like trainers, but they actually have little holes in so the water can come out, so that's what I normally wear. Anyway, we've really gone off topic here, but we were all a bit thrown off because at first, when we saw him, it was like, oh, look at this guy, he's like properly dressed up, that kind of thing. And then he just had these like Crocs on, and we were like, what in the world? Anyway, so we had a good time at the Wood Fair. I ended up going on, they had like these big swings that you can go on, and they're a proper like swing made out of solid wood, and there's a little stump that you can go on that you can kind of jump onto so you can get a real big swing. And I got span, so I was spinning around out of control on this swing, and this child, I don't know what it is with me and little kids recently, but sorry, I don't know what it is about me and traumatizing children lately, but it's one of those, I promise this was not on purpose. So I was span on this swing, spinning out, and this child came running into my way, and I was getting closer and closer, and I was like, oh no, when things kind of go in slow motion, I was like, I'm going to take this poor child out, and I felt so bad. So anyway, I when I tell you, I leapt off this swing. I leapt off it and then had to kind of grab it so the swing wouldn't swing back at this child. Anyway, I managed to get off in time. Did not take out this child. It was a close call though. And as I was swinging, I can't even remember what I said. I went, oh no, a child. I just had to quickly jump off. I gave myself the ick. It was so embarrassing. I was like, can the ground please swallow me? At least I didn't take the child out. The child was fine. It wandered off in the opposite direction. It was all good. But I was like, oh my goodness. That could have ended so badly. So anyway, that was my embarrassing story from the Wood Fair. Your girl has also, I feel like I've been up and down the whole of the UK in the last couple of weeks. But anyway, something else that I've done recently was I tried showing. Now, I do have some showing experience because back when I first started, competing and things, or first started to learn to ride, my hairdresser had a Welsh Section A pony called Lola, who was kind of a show pony. She was only 7 and I was 7, so she was very young and green, hadn't really done much, but my hairdresser was fine. Take you on the lead rein. You can be the guinea pig for my grandchildren that will one day ride this horse, but you can ride it first for free. So my parents were like, great, Esme's got a pony for free. We don't have to do anything. This was long before I had Mickey or even my first pony. So this was my first kind of like lone pony, I guess. So I was riding her and anyway, so I do have a little bit of experience of showing, not much. I kind of just sat there, did a little, bobbing along while she led me round, and we both looked kind of pretty, I guess. I was gonna say we both looked pretty, but there were definitely a lot more fancier ponies and children at these shows that we went to, but we had a good time. So that's kind of the only showing experience I had before this. So I went and did a showing day, so I had to prepare a show pony, so I had to do all the like quarter markings and everything. There was one bit where the guy said that one of my quarter markings looked a little bit tipsy, so there's that. It wasn't very perfect. One bit was good, the other bit not so much. But to be fair, I felt like I had a little bit of a disadvantage because the guy gave me, like, I was going to say a toothpick, it wasn't really, it was a little brush that you could use for the quarter markings, and he gave me a bigger one than his, so I'm going to blame that. So this video was like a kind of like a showing challenge. So I had the like preparing the horses to make them show ready. And I was actually challenged by the London International Horse Show, who I'm an ambassador for. So really looking forward to that. That show is on in December in London. It's kind of like the big Christmassy show. So anyway, it was really lovely seeing all the team from that. So we had like a full on team there doing all the filming. But also, yeah, for the challenge, when I had to get this show pony ready, there were like, obviously, I've been very lucky to go to so many different yards and see so many like professional show jumping horses or dressage horses or event horses get ready. But in the showing world, they take it to another extreme, because there were some things that I didn't even realise existed. So they put like makeup on the horses, which was very different and very cool. I think I'd maybe seen it like it was one of those things where like maybe I did know about it before but just kind of forgot. So it made like they put this like glossy stuff under their eyes and it made them look so shiny. Like honestly, this pony looked like a plastic toy horse. Like it was like a Barbie, well, not a Barbie horse, because I'd say a Barbie horse is kind of like a Palomino, but it was honestly like a proper like model horse. Like it looked like, you know, it had just come fresh out of a box kind of thing, like somebody had just untwisted all the plastic ties on it. But no, this pony was absolutely gorgeous. So the professional groom did one side and I did the other side, and I can't lie, if you looked closely, you could see which side I had done. It wasn't perfect. They also had like a glitter spray that they put in its tail and on its like plaits. And I was absolutely blown away by that. I was like, I need some glitter spray on my horses, on my unicorns. Also, this pony was a bay. So I was like, finally, I'm cleaning a horse, but it's not a grey for once. So there we go. Also, all of the products that were used on this pony were designed for horses and are horse safe. So don't worry, they haven't just got some like glitter spray from like a craft shop or store or that kind of thing and just sprayed it on this poor pony. But no, all of the horses were in such good condition. I was like, wow, okay, how am I going to get my horses looking like this? And then it was time to ride a show horse. So this was a lovely, I think it was a cob. And as you guys know, I have a soft spot for cobs. They are one of my favourite breeds. That is one horse that I would love to own at some stage in the future. I would love to own a cob. Anyway, so I rode this horse and oh my goodness, its gaits were beautiful. You know when you just get, I don't know, but sometimes I get on other people's horses and I'm like, wow, this horse is just like, obviously I'm very lucky, I have very nice horses too, but I feel like when you get on somebody else's horse, it's just that little bit different. Like obviously it's also when you get on somebody else's horse, it's quite high pressure, and you know this is quite a fancy show horse. So I was riding around being like, oh my goodness, they're going to be judging my riding, they're going to be like, oh, she's doing that wrong, oh, the horse. So I was like, whenever I get on somebody else's horse, I'm just like, listen, I know it feels weird when somebody else rides your horse, so please, if there's anything that I'm doing wrong or anything that I need to do, just shout at me, just tell me what to do. I'm not going to be offended. Like, don't beat around the bush, just be like, Ez, just do this, you're doing it wrong, the horse likes it like this. I'm like, okay, all good. So anyway, I was riding around and I really got into the groove and I was like, oh my gosh, this horse is so lovely, it's got such lovely gaits. And I was like, wow, it's so fancy. So I rode it in the arena first, and then I had to go out into the field, and there was like a proper like showing judge there, and he had to judge me. So like the pressure was on. I was riding somebody else's horse, I had a professional judge judging me, and I had the whole London International Horse Show media team there filming me as well. So I was like, okay, I've got to really pull this out the bag now. And one thing that I've learned when it comes to riding other people's horses is that if you act all nervous and all like, oh, like, am I doing this right? That kind of thing. Like, it doesn't look good. It looks like this girl has no idea how to ride. One thing that I have learned when riding other people's horses is be confident. Act like this is your horse. You ride it all the time, and you'll actually end up looking half decent. So that is something that I have learned in my time of riding other people's horses and just having to get on and go for it, even though there's a full camera crew there filming you. Anyway, I had so much fun, and it was actually so lovely because not only the owner, but also the guy that was judging me, both, you know, were very complimentary, and hopefully, well, you know, they might have just been saying that because of the cameras and because, you know, of doing like my job and that kind of thing. But no, they were all, everyone was so lovely, so welcoming. And I think the showing world has like a bit of a kind of like a stigma of everyone being very like posh and fancy and that kind of thing, because, you know, that's how you have to look very prim and proper and put together. But everyone was so lovely, so down to earth, and I just had such a good day. And you never know, the horse that I rode was called Flossie, and she was absolutely gorgeous, and Flossie's owners were like, well, if you ever want to ride her again, and like the judge was like, I would love to see you doing some like showing competitions, so you never know, I might be entering my show era. I don't think any of my horses are quite suitable for showing, so, you know, if I get another opportunity for somebody to ride their horse, like, you best believe I'm going to take it. I mean, Joey isn't quite the right breed for showing because I don't think he is, because he's a thoroughbred cross warm blood, so he's more of a sporty kind of guy. And then Casper, to be fair, I could do some classes on him because he is a Connemara. I could do some veteran classes on him, but Casper, like, I love him to bits, but he's not quite show pony material. Like, his conformation, I think a lot of the judges would question, because Casper, he is built like a sausage dog. He has a very long body, which sometimes gives him advantage, sometimes not so much. It's especially, like, I don't know if you guys know this, but when I first got him, he used to always be like disunited and canter right, and I think some of that is due to his conformation of him having like a sausage dog body, where his, you know, back legs aren't as connected, or they're a little bit further away from his front ones, so it'd get them a little bit muddled sometimes. But there we go. And you never know, because one of the questions that I was asked on the media day was, out of all my horses, who do you think would do showing the best? And I was going to say Duke, because like that guy, he is handsome, he has good hair. Again, his conformation might not be the best, but he is very cute. I think one of Duke's legs might be a little bit wonky, but we won't tell him that. He's gorgeous, he's perfect. But I think he could win handsomest gelding. Or the one that, isn't there sometimes like a class? This is definitely more like lower level showing, but from my experience, like little local country show kind of showing, all the people in the showing world are going to be like, no, this is not what the classes are actually called. But I there's normally one, and it's like the pony or the horse that the judge wants to take home the most, and I think Duke would 100% win that. If he doesn't, then it's just rigged, because Duke is adorable. But anyway, yes, that was my experience doing showing. It's definitely something that I would love to try again or do again, although I think I would need a very good groom, because my groom skills doing those quarter marks, some of them were a bit dodgy. So if anybody wants to, you know, be like, come on Esme, come and ride my show pony, like, or show horse, actually I probably would squish pony. But anyway, give me a call, because I had so much fun. I'd love to do that again. But anyway, on that note, I'm going to finish off today's podcast episode there. I really hope you enjoyed listening to my very busy week of lots of different things and lots of different stories and anecdotes. But I just want to say another huge thank you to the sponsor of the podcast, Red Post. Go and check them out at redpostequestrian.co.uk, and I will see you all next time. Thanks for listening. Bye.